So that's the position that you're in there now. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the right place.
Yeah. Good. Fantastic. So what do you drive on the road at the moment?
Rnone Clio.
Okay, cool. No, that's fine. Is it auto or manual? Or? Manual. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you driven automatic before?
I have. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So obviously it's just like every other auto, really. There's obviously only 2 pedals.
Yep.
The stick on the sides, how we get to drive and things. We'll do that stuff in a minute. But good, fantastic. So obviously the course we're going to do today, you can see the whole facility out here. Have you been here before? Or driven here? You have. You're on the facility.
I haven't driven on there, but I've done hot laps and stuff.
Okay, all right, cool. That's right, no worries. So I mean, obviously we can use a lot of those same areas.
Yeah.
So we've got the wet circuit and the wet straight just over here. North circuit, south circuit, and dynamic area.
Yeah.
And we can basically use any area at any time to almost do what we want. So as long as we are kind of going around and we're kind of learning something. So if there's anything that you think of as we're going around and saying, actually, can we do that again, or can we move on now, or can we do this, can we do that? Just let me know and we can kind of freestyle that a little bit. Okay, there's no kind of set route we have to take, which is good. Which means obviously we can try and avoid some traffic if it gets a bit busy as well. But good, fantastic. Other than obviously what you said you've done here with the hot laps and things, have you done a driving experience thing before or not?
I haven't.
No? Okay,
I've done like go-karting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, alright, no worries at all, that's fine. So, just make sure you are comfortable. If you do it with everybody, you've already had a play with the seat and the mirrors and things. If you just press the brake, come back off again, flip the throttle, and the brake, and the throttle, and the brake. Let's do that nice and quickly between both pedals. Good, nice, we'll let this off now. We're good, so happy where the brake pedal is and things, because there's a bit of a difference in height between them. Yeah,
that's fine.
Good, also you can keep your left foot on that footrest over on the side. The auto that you did drive, what car was it?
So I've done Mercedes here.
Okay.
And then I've driven Mum's car.
Okay, alright, cool. No worries. What's your mum got?
Rnone Spass.
Okay, cool. Alright, no worries. It's fine. Cool. So if you keep your foot on the brake, we're going to go down to drive now with that stalk. Pull it all the way down. That's it. Fantastic. And we're going to edge over to the left, obviously go through the gap here and then round the back of that grey car. That's it. Come on this over here more. We've got loads more space on my side. That's fantastic. Cool. We're going to go over the zebra crossing. It's all clear. Fantastic, and now we're going to go right over to the left hand side down this little junction just here.
That feels nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's good. So at the moment we're in comfort mode obviously, which is just a normal kind of normal drive settings, nothing kind of too mental at the moment. Obviously we're going to build up as we go through. So I'd like you to go straight over the roundabout here for me. Good, so this main access road down here, it's just 30 miles an hour, normal two-way traffic, normal junctions and stuff, so normal right of way and things. But good, fantastic. So this facility wise, when you came and did your hot laps, everything was open, there wasn't any closed areas or anything? Yeah, cool, fantastic. How long ago was that?
Not really too sure, less than 4 months ago probably.
Okay,
quite recently.
Yeah, cool, fantastic.
It's when you had the facelifted cars.
Okay, cool, yeah, so it wasn't quite, 4 or 5 months or so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, no worries at all. So we're going to start on the south circuit, which is just this one on the left hand side just here. What we're going to do there is, I'm not bothered at all about how fast we're going or even what techniques or anything we're using at the beginning. It's purely for you to feel comfortable in the car. So you're going to drive like you would on the road, just kind of cruising around, and then we're going to build up some speed on top of that. Okay? You take a left into here for me. We don't have to, but we probably end up doing it out of habit anyway at some point. We're good. Let's take a left again.
Let's go straight on.
Yeah, let's go straight on. Good. So what we're after then is just for you to be nice and kind of relaxed, like I said, and feel for the car. So the car is 100% road legal. We've got normal tyres, normal brakes, suspension, gearbox, all that kind of stuff. So it shouldn't feel that far from what it would be like on the road. So if you were going to drive one of these on the road, this is what it would feel like. Okay. Fantastic. As you probably know as well then, so we're in a C63 as well today,
Yes.
which is good. So all that means is we've got a 4 litre bi-turbo V8, which a lot of the cars have these days. Yeah, there's kind of a blanket engine across the whole AMG range almost. Some of them are still 5.5s, but most of them are 4 litres. But yeah, so it's kind of a blanket engine. This one's a slightly more tuned up version, so it's got 510 brake horsepower, but still 100% rear wheel drive as well. Which means when we get onto the slippery stuff, we can have a bit of a play with that, get a little bit of a drift on and stuff like that, and see how it feels. Yeah? Yeah?
Steering.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got a nice weight to it. It's got electric steering, like electric power steering pumps, so you don't have quite as much feel as you did, but it is impressive how they've got as much feel as they have out of it.
This is literally my dream car.
Yeah?
The C63S.
Yeah, no, they're really cool. They are really nice.
I just love it because obviously it's got Ferrari performance, but it looks like a C-Class.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit sleeper.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It does everything, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's just insurance, it's ridiculous.
Cool. All feeling okay though?
Yeah, brilliant.
Nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through a few different driving techniques to try and get the speed up and kind of get some more dynamic stuff going.
Yeah.
So the first way we're going to do that is with the steering. And when we go through a corner, what we're going to try and do is minimise the amount of effort we're putting through the car.
Okay.
So when we're on a track or on the road, the car should always feel balanced and controlled and it flows nicely, rather than kind of being stop, start, left, right.
Yeah.
Everything is one gentle movement. And the way you're adding the lock now is fantastic because you're crossing your arms over.
Yeah.
If we shuffle the wheel, obviously what that does is have 1 or 2 kind of turn-ins and 1 or 2 turns out.
Yeah.
So it just has that little kind of jerkiness to it. Whereas now you're kind of like a liquid flowing through the whole thing, yeah? Which is a lot better. Good, the same kind of thing on the throttle and the brakes as well, because I've got no problem at all with you using 100% throttle and 100% brake, but it's how we get there that's important.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, with over 500 brake horsepower and rear wheel drive, we come out of a corner, what we don't want to do is go stab, 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 and then full the throttle.
Sideways.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice gentle increase. So we'll go through what that means later on, especially when we're in lane 1 and we're doing some acceleration, you'll definitely be using that technique. But the same with the brakes. I think it's quite right to say that generally people don't use the brakes enough.
Yeah.
They are so good, and we just don't use enough of them. So let's start using them now. So let's start picking up the pace a little bit. Just keep feeding in the throttle. Good. Keep on bringing in the power for me. Good. And then braking as we turn into the corner. So getting a feel of how sharp those brakes are as well. So back on the power. Keep feeding that in. And brake. Turn. Off the brakes and on the power. So feed the power a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then braking. So see, it's just like that. It's those little kind of dead zones there. We can just get rid of a little bit by having the confidence in the brakes. So braking as you go in. Good. Good. Back on the power, squeezing it in, and brakes. Good. Good. Back on the power again. Keep feeding. Brake. Good. It's a little bit too much power. You see where it goes into the kick down. So obviously if you've driven an auto, you'd know that, like you said before. So because in comfort mode, it's cruising in quite a high gear. Once you push your foot down too aggressively, it tries to drop down gears like you're overtaking or something. But yeah, so we won't try and do that. But so back on the power again, feed it in, just keep building and building and building, and then braking. Good. Good. Back on the power, keep feeding that in, and brakes. That's much better, isn't it? Yeah? Good, so let's have another few laps just to see how it feels. Keep on practicing those techniques. The more that's kind of obviously embedded in, the better that's going to be when we start adding more stuff to it as well. rear-wheel drive car does have a lot of grip, and obviously, like I said before, we're on normal road tyres as well, so it's not like we're on any special tyres or anything.
What tyres are they?
They're Continental. They're Continental Sport Contact 6s, so they're very good tyres.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not like a semi-cut slick tyre or anything. Good. Let's peel off to the left hand here now. We're going to head down to the dynamic area. All that made sense?
Yeah.
It's quite basic stuff, it's just kind of putting it into practice and getting it all kind of merged together. Let's take a right here. Yeah. Good. So you see where this car's gone just through there?
Yep.
That's where we're going to go. We're going to take a left there, but we're going to stay left because we want to go to lane 1. So he's in lane 3, 2, 1. He's the one closest to us. Yeah.
I booked an AMG C63 half hour at 12:30 on Nick Jackson. Is that okay? Thank you. Nick Jackson, do you receive that?
Cool, let's hold it here. So we let them go first because obviously they were here before us. What we're going to do is have a nice simple acceleration and braking. So it's about how we can get the car through the line, and also this is going to give you big confidence in the brakes as well. Because at the moment, obviously quite rightly, you wouldn't know how good the brakes are because you've only used about 15 to 20% of them at the moment. Okay. So once they are completed, whatever they're going to, I think they're going to just slalom. I think. What we're going to do is have a full throttle start, so I'd like you to get from 0% throttle to 100 immediately. Okay. You're going to hold that throttle down, and then when I shout brake, I'd like you to emergency stop. Okay. And it's just about stopping the car as quickly as you can. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. So we'll give it another few seconds, let them move off, and then we're going to give that a go. Cool. Whenever you're ready, let's go. Brake. Nice.
Cool.
Nicely done. How did that feel?
Brilliant.
Is that pretty good, yeah? Nice. Fantastic. Let's carry on down here for me then. These blue cones at the end, we're going to just take a left and come back around and go back down the access road, back into lane 1, and we can give it another go. Okay?
Did I do that alright?
Yeah, that was good. That's exactly what I wanted, yeah. How did that feel from your side though?
Yeah, quite good.
Let's get out before these guys. A bit slow down the road. Yeah, good. So we got off the line nicely, we hit the brakes nicely, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Perfect.
You see we had quite a lot of wheel spin though, didn't we?
Yes.
Obviously that's what we were expecting because we obviously went too much throttle too early because that's what I asked you to do.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of kind of juddering and then it kind of died and then came back again, yeah. So what do you think that is that caused that?
The traction control.
Yeah, because you've asked for 500 brake horsepower immediately. They said, well, no, you can have a little bit, a bit more, and a bit more. So that acceleration there, even when your foot is on the floor and you're kind of halfway up the straight line, it still isn't giving you full power because you've had the wheel spin here. Even until you brake, it still wouldn't have given you full power. So this time we're going to have a much more progressive acceleration, so we can see the advantage. If anything, go too far. So take really long. Let's take from 0 to 4 seconds to get to full throttle. So a long, progressive speed. Full throttle. When I shout brake, bang, and then just stop again. Okay.
Cool,
We're going to see that extra power and what that does. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's give it a second. Let's go now. So more. Brake. Very good. How's that then? Much better. Yeah. See, because you didn't tell the car that it was needing to help us, it never did. So when you asked for full throttle, it just gave it to you. Let's carry on down. We'll go around again. Very nice. Well done. Much better. So you see, it's one of those things, and that's what a lot of this is going to be about. That we can trust the car and rely on the car because it does so many cool things, but also we can build up enough skills to not need it. And only you need the systems when we make a bit of a mistake or we're caught out by something. Yeah?
Shall I go back into there?
Yeah, let's go back in there again, yeah. So what we're going to do now is have a practice of some braking. So instead of me just shouting brake and you reacting to that and then just stopping the car, it's now going to play a much more important role. And what I'd like you to do is to stop in a designated area, and you need to work out where you need to brake to stop in that place. Okay, so it's a bit more kind of judgment from your side. It's a bit like the throttle. So let's go down here again at just 15 miles an hour or so. So we're going to go really slowly. I'm going to show you where that area is. We'll do a bit of a recce. We'll do it at full speed then.
Yeah, that's
okay. So this is usually where we're getting down to full throttle by now. We've got 4 blue cones together on my side. We've got the 5th one on its own that is the front corner of this yellow box. And this tiny box where I'd like you to stop. So if you slow it down, yeah, about there. And there's also one in that lane that you can see as well. Okay. So this is where I'd like you to stop the car. Also, you need to work out where you need to brake somewhere behind us to stop in this box. Yeah.
Can I feather the throttle? Or do you just want me to just emergency?
Yeah, if you feather it again, to feed it in
sorry,
gently.
The brake when I stop. Do you want me to just emergency stop?
Yeah. So the end goal, we'll carry on around. The end goal, whether that's the first time or the 5th time or whatever, is to have a gentle start, braking with an emergency perfect in the box. The first time you might only get to half throttle and then brake and go, oh, it's a bit too much, come off a bit, and then stop potentially. I say it doesn't matter if that's the first go. As we get up, we're going to try and get it as accurate as we can. Yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
If you notice as well, so far, as we've been braking, the hazard lights have been coming on as well, haven't they? So when we are braking, as you saw the other car do earlier, the brake lights flash, and then when we actually hit 0, the hazard lights come on. So if we don't, say, use ABS and we do feather the brake, but the hazard lights still come on, you know you still had a pretty emergency stop, because they're all just set off by G-force. They're not actually set off by ABS. They're just set off by the amount of force going through the car. Cool. So, like I said, I'm not going to say a word. You happy with what you've got to do? Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. Whenever you're ready, we're good to go. God, let's go around again. So yeah, that's what usually happens. The first time we do that, people brake too early. And all that is that in your mind, you will have a set braking distance. You think that at this speed, it should take this long to slow down. Cool, let's go back in again. But obviously, in reality, this car is stopping a lot quicker than you think. So let's give us another go, so we can get a little bit closer. Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, just brakes so late.
It's pretty good.
It's weird driving this, because it doesn't feel like it's got a long bonnet. You can barely see it, but it does.
Yeah, no, it's odd. Obviously, coming from something like a Clear, was that your first car as well? Yeah. So once you get into a saloon car, it does really change the way you sit and where you're, and then it changes again when you get into something like a Roadster or just a 2-seater coupe or something. It really does change the perception of how it is. Like the GT bonnet seems to go so far out, but it's just because you're lower, you can see it. Because at the moment, it's not that much longer than this, but you can not really see it. But cool. So whenever you're ready, let's go again. Cool. We'll give it one more go. Yeah, we had a much better start, and we broke a bit later, but we also broke a bit harder. We stopped there, okay? But again, it's just showing you how good the brakes are. Okay. Well, up until now, we've been in comfort mode, so it's normal kind of everyday driving mode. Okay. So we're going to do the next one in Sports Plus. So that's in Sports Plus now. Already, just even doing this part, does it feel any different or not? Much more sensitive, isn't it? Yeah. So this time when we get off the line, just be careful of that, because if we accelerate like we did before, we're likely to get back to wheel spin again. Yeah.
it change the brakes at all? Or
It shouldn't do, no.
Okay.
The only difference you might feel is that the suspension gets stiffer. So when you brake, it'll feel like it's stopping quicker because it won't dive down on the nose as much. It's going to be a lot stiffer, yeah.
Okay.
But cool. Other than that, it shouldn't do.
Yep.
Whenever you're ready. Oh, a bit late. Not good. See how much quicker we got there, though? Yeah? Very nice. Let's go around again. We're going to move on now and do something different. That's good. Sport Plus mode feels pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah? Let's leave it in that one, shall we?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Steering as well.
Steering is a little bit heavier. Yeah.
So nice.
It's cool, isn't it? Very good. We're going to go down to the water now. So if we go through the blue cones here, then we're going to go right. There's 2 blue cones in the middle, just there, okay? Good. So what we're going to do, we will have an acceleration up to 30, okay? We're going to pop a limiter on, so that button that says lim on the top left of that square. Push that in, and then the one that says set, just scroll upwards. Let's press the lim button again, and again, and again. Oh, that's it. Now got up to 30 on the set one. That's it. There we go. Cool. That button's multifunctional, so you have to kind of select a few times. It goes cruise control on, cruise control off, cruise control on, cruise control off, then limiter on and off. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. But cool, so that's the limiter now set at 30, okay? So what I need you to do is just drive like you would normally at 30. The limiter's just there in the background to stop it from going too far over, okay? So just drive at 30 like normal. When we're on the surface, I'm going to shout brake. You can go down now, yeah. When I shout brake, just an emergency stop, okay? Brake. How does that feel?
Yes, alright.
Yeah? Good. Fantastic. So that is stopped. It's still been able to stop, it's obviously taken a lot longer. Okay. Let's carry on down. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. See where this blue barrier is, just here on the right. We'll take a right there, and come back up the main road again. Good, and we'll loop round like we did in the lane 1 loop round as well. If we take a right now, so we'll clear my way. Good, and then right to the blue cones, right to the wet straight again. But good, so the surface there, has anyone mentioned to you yet, other than what I've already told you, about what it is, what it's made out of or anything? No? So it's basically normal tarmac that we painted with stuff called Avatol. And Avatol is like a thick silicon. So we paint it onto the surface there and the wet circle, and then we spray them with water. So they're both the same grip level, both areas. But the grip level, it has the same drag as black ice. So it is extremely slippery. Okay? So what we've done that time is we've gone down at 30 miles an hour, hit the brakes, and just asked the car to stop. So there was no sign of movement at all, was there? It didn't try and lock up the brakes or do anything weird. What systems do you know of that are on the car that would be helping at that point?
Right. Traction control, stability control, and an ABS as well.
Yeah, traction control not so much. Traction control we're going to be using in a minute when we stop on the water and then try and accelerate off of it. But yeah, at the moment, all we're using, like I said, is the ABS. We're also using another one called BAS, which is brake assisted steering. We're going to go through that one in a minute. What I'd like you to do, same again, but like I said, when you hit the brakes, hit them a little bit harder, and also let go of the steering wheel. So we do 30 miles an hour, brake and let go, and just keep your hands off until the car stops. Okay?
That's fine.
Whenever you're ready. Brake. was that one.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
good, nicely done. So let's go around again.
Mhm.
That was good. So even when we took our hands off the wheel, the car didn't move left and right. So you had no input at all. We wanted to see what the car could do, and that's what it can do. Okay. So let's go back up again. BAS, or brake assisted steering, is BAS is basically how the car can brake on each individual corner at different times. So it can help to turn the car or keep it straight or whatever. Okay. So what you did that time is you didn't have any input on the wheel, and the car stayed straight, and that's because it broke on different corners.
Yeah.
And I know that the surface is kind of banked down on the right to let the water run off.
Yes.
So it would be braking a bit more on my side than your side to help kind of counteract that difference in the surface.
Yeah.
It's quite clever.
Yeah.
Good. The next one we're going to do, I think, fills people with the most confidence, because we're really going to ask the car to do a lot of work, and it does it really, really well. So we're going to keep the limiter on. I'd like you to go. They might actually be. Well, they're doing a slight version of it.
Okay.
We're going to do the kind of the most extreme way to do it. So we're not going to go down the middle. We're going to go slightly over to the left. Okay, so a bit off centre. Then I'm going to say brake, right, left. When I say brake, just smash that brake pedal. When I say right, with your thumbs in the groove again, go right round to upside down, still on the brakes. Then when I say left, come left, still on the brakes. There's a brake in two big direction changes. Okay?
Yep.
So obviously there's a lot going on for the car. We're on ice, we're emergency stopping, we're swerving twice, and we're going to try and keep the car in control.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Good. Off we go. Brake, right, left, straight. Good, very nice. How did that one feel? So it's still, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's still able to have that level of control. Yeah? Cool. We're going to go back up again, we're going to do some acceleration on it now.
Yep. Have you done some racing then to get this job?
Yeah, so a lot of us here have been racing, for a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of us have here, probably about 80% of us, and then the rest are kind of like a police background or something like that. So my background's all racing since I was 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
So doing quite a lot. It's going to go that way, that's fine. What we're going to do is, you see where the blue cones are on either side of the wet straight?
Yep.
I'm going to get you to stop in the middle. We're actually just going to do some acceleration from there, okay?
Yeah.
So let's cruise on down nice and gently. We're going to knock that limiter off, so press that lim button again. Yeah, that's limiter off now. And we'll stop in between the cones. We're in Sport Plus mode. We've got the traction control on like it would be every day, and the limiters are off as well, okay? Cool, let's go over that way a little bit, just so it's a bit wetter. So yeah, this nice big wet patch here. Let's come back this way, and then straight, stop it there. So at the moment, we don't have any limiters on, but the traction control is going to be helping us. We're going to do half a run, stop, do another run with it turned off, and then go on to the wet cycle. So what I'd like you to do is just gently pull away, and then when I say power, just floor the throttle. Okay?
Yep.
So just gently pull away first, a little bit more, and power. Stop. It feels horrible, but it's trying not to break traction. You've got such a small amount of grip and so much power. Okay? If I push and hold this button, 3 seconds, you get that. So that is, at the moment, traction control. It gets a little bit confusing, but traction control off, but ESP is still halfway on, or the other way around. See where it says 5 on your steering wheel? You basically have traction on, traction half off, and then when you go all off like we have now, we've got another 9 settings. So there's a lot of playing, a lot of way to play with it. Okay, if you can just spin that round to me, so it says 9, go all the way around. That's now off. That is no help whatsoever. We're going to play with the other modes in a minute. But what I'd like you to do is just gently pull away, literally 5% throttle. When I say power, Just put about 20% down. So it's only going to be a little bit, okay? So power. Good. And again. And off. Good. That's a massive difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were literally just tickling the throttle when it was already wheel spinning. Yeah? Cool. Let's go straight over then onto the wet circle. We'll stop on this double white line on the floor.
Yep.
Just here. Good. So, what we'll do, we're going to let this guy on there on his own for a little bit. We're going to join in a minute.
Yep.
So going back to traction control, because obviously we can use it a lot more in here now. It's obviously on all the time, like it is in every car when you turn it on. If we push that button once, it says that, sport handling. That's basically the whole system turned halfway off.
Okay.
If I push and hold this, the traction control has now been switched off. But the ESP is still on. And the ESP is the stuff that stops the sideways movement. But you won't have anything stopping the wheel spin. The more that number, the higher that number, the more that turns off. So when that is off, you've got ESP off, and you've got traction control off, and you will have corner braking turned off, everything.
Okay.
If you go to say 3 for now for me, on the dial, you see it goes into the yellow ones instead of the red. Yep. And that is now, it's a halfway off, it lets you have a little bit of fun, but it is going to kick in at some point.
Okay.
The higher, the less it's going to kick in. Okay? So let's start with it on, and then we'll have a bit of a play with it as we go through. Okay?
Yep.
So let's join into the wet circle now. Let's go through the blue cones and get out ahead of this guy. And we're going to hold it at 10 miles an hour. It's going to feel quite slow. We're holding it down at 10. That's it. Good. So, when I say power, what I'd like you to do is hit full throttle immediately.
Yep.
Remember, this is effectively a roundabout covered in ice. We're going to see how it reacts.
Yep.
Okay? So, whenever you're ready, power. And off. Not much really happened, did it? No? So, it didn't really want to accelerate too much. You could feel the systems helping. What could you feel the systems actually doing?
Cutting the power.
Yeah, cool. Anything else?
Not really.
No?
Yeah,
Hold it down for a bit longer and see if you can feel anything else happen. So full power.
Braking the wheels.
Yeah, there's a little bit of brake going on, isn't there? Especially on my corner, and that's because we're going in this direction. So basically, anywhere the car's going to go is that way. So it pulls on my brake to slow this side down to put it back. If we were going the other way, it'd be your front brake. Yeah? So good. If I push this one here now, that's halfway off.
Okay.
That's the traction, just allowing you a little bit of slip. Okay? So hold it at 10, you can see it at the top of the screen still. When I say power, just floor the throttle. So power. Nice. And off. But definitely allowing you more, isn't it? But then you get to a point and it won't go any further. You can really feel the brakes almost completely on, just stopping it from going any further. Try that again, full power. It won't let you pass that point, will it? So you can hold it here all day. Yeah? Cool. Let's back it back off again then. Very nice. Let's now go all the way off, and what I'd like you to do, go to number 3 first, which is already on, that's good. Let's go full throttle again and see if it feels any different. Yeah, so that angle has increased, hasn't it? But it's still helping you, off again, but it's not helping you as much as it was before, because now you've got more wheel spin, because the traction control has been turned off, but the sideways bit hasn't. Okay, so slow it down again, and power. And you can see it flashing on the dash as well. Good, very nice. Now go to say 5, so knock it off a little bit more. Try again now, full throttle. Good. Okay, you're actually having to work quite hard at it now, yeah? Good. Slow down again. See if we can do that again. See how long we can hold it for. So the more relaxed you are with the wheel, the more it's going to kind of sit out and then stay there. If we're making lots of little movements, it gets a little bit kind of momentum based and starts spinning. So go speed up to say, let's try 11 or 12. That's it. Try it now. Full power. Good. So long we can hold it for. So take a bit of lock off. Just let it spin around a bit more. That's it. So now add all the lock. Almost. You see, the steering really does make a massive difference. Yeah? Cool, let's carry on again. Let's knock that back now. We're on 5, aren't we? Yeah, let's knock that back to say 7 now. We've got off in 2s, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just waiting for it to come down.
Good. Now we're getting to the point where we won't be able just to nail the throttle.
Yeah.
We're going to need to kind of play with it a bit. So it might be closer to about 70%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's try that now. And keep those revs controlled. That's perfect. The revs are just really low. Good. And what percent throttle would you say that you're on at the moment?
50, 60.
Okay.
Lost it.
A little bit. You see, now we're getting to the point where we're having to start thinking about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
About how much throttle we're using and when.
Yeah.
Good. So, let's leave it in that mode. Let's see if we can just do that again. Have a nice controlled drift. Let's start it at 12. Let's go now. Keep those revs low. That's it. Good. Right, so that's 30, 40, 50, 60%. It is rising, 80. Look good. It's still keeping it somewhat controlled though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. Let's pull this back straight. Almost. Cool. Let's spin it around again. We're going to go to 9 now as well. We do straight in the middle. So crank it off again. Back to 9. Good. No help at all now, okay? So the throttle, you are going to be fully in control of that.
Yeah.
Like the car has been doing for you up until now, except the last run we did.
Yeah.
Try and keep those revs between about 2 and 3.
Okay.
If you don't want the wheels to spin too quickly.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's try again. Good. And now that's 18% throttle, 23, 14, 22. Suddenly you're using a lot less power. And you see, it still wants to spin. Because if you want it, it's just going to give it to you. Yeah, so if you ask it for it at the slightly wrong time, or ask for a bit too much of it, there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool, let's give this another few goes. Obviously we're going to spend a lot more time in this mode than the other ones. So we're going to see if we can get some really nice, well-connected drifts together.
Can't I just go for it?
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Keeping it controlled. Trying to see if we can keep that. That's it. Oh. Yeah, it's just not so much too much throttle.
Yeah.
We just held it for a little bit too long, that's all. Yeah, the amount of throttle was okay, just a little bit too long. That's really nice. Just stay relaxed. Awesome.
God, it feels so strange.
That's really good. That's easily a full lap. That's awesome. That's it. That's really cool. What you'll find, what you'll find is just like you did that kind of halfway through there.
Yep.
At the beginning of the first half a circle was a little bit kind of in and out, and you kind of found a point where I wanted to sit there. And you could kind of go. Well, that's it. You can have a little bit of throttle, a little bit of steering, and it'll just stay there.
Yeah.
And you kind of find where that point is. But cool, that's nice. See if we can do that again. That's cool. Let's carry on. Got on it there. What we'll do, let's go that way. Let's go in this direction. So it's going to be the same techniques, but obviously spinning the wheel the other way. And sometimes people prefer to be on that side of the car than this side. It does make a difference. Let's see if we can do it this way as well. Definitely feels a bit grippier this way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just the stuff we paint on, because generally it just happens to be going in the other direction. I think it kind of gets pushed one way a little bit.
Yeah.
When we go against it, it's like going against the grain,
Yeah.
literally. So it's suddenly a bit more grippy. So you might need to use a little bit more RPM than you were before.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's carry on there. Let's see how it feels. TC, can I get a watch on the circle, please? Oh, just a little bit too much. You see earlier on that would have spun ages ago.
Yeah.
But here it actually took still quite a while for the spin. Thank you. Cool. So keep those revs as low as you can, but keeping those rear wheels spinning. A bit more power. That's it. Good. Off. Oh, unlucky. That last little bit.
Go back round again.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep those revs really low. That's it. There we go. Off. Back on. That's it. Off. Back on.
Track section 2, Elliot receiving.
Nice.
Right. Apparently there is now a GT hour on Ollie. It's been put on the system as a break. Receiving.
Let's go this way. Cool. Let's try again. Keep those revs low. That's it. Lift off. Very nice. So when we get to the full lock and we kind of hit the lock stop,
Yeah.
any more power at that point is always just going to spin. Because you can't do any more with the steering to counterbalance it. Cool. Let's carry on this time. We're going to head onto the track now. So if we go through the blue cones, just take a right up here for me. Good. And let's take a left now. Good. And then we're going to head onto the North Circuit. How did you find that then?
Yeah, good.
That's pretty good, isn't it? So it teaches you so much about car control, and that was really, really impressive. That was good. Good. So let's take a left into here now.
Yeah, the guy that did the paperwork at the start
Stop it there.
was
Yeah.
saying that he can't drift that stuff.
Yeah.
I find countersteer quite easy-ish.
Yeah.
It just kind of it's natural to me to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. I said there's reason for that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's great. So all of that kind of driving that we've done. So, like I said before, everything that we are doing on there, whether we are lifting off the throttle or turning or whatever,
Yeah.
all of that difference is happening on the track as well. But you just don't feel it as much.
Yeah.
Because obviously on the wet circle, when it's slippery, everything is just magnified. Okay, amplified.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, we're going to take a left in a minute, and our circuit here, all we're meant to do is just stitch everything together.
Yeah.
So by now we should have quite a good confidence in the car, and we try and put that together.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a left now for me. Good. See this box here that we're pretty much on top of now?
Yeah.
This is where we're going to stop if we need to let people pass.
Okay.
Or if we're overtaking other people, they'll stop in here as well, okay? So let's carry on now for me. So remembering, first of all, the steering, the throttle, the braking. We haven't really covered trail braking or anything yet, which we can do in a minute as well. And all of that stuff we're just trying to put together to make this quick, but also really, really accurate. And obviously very little mistakes as well, okay?
Shall I just cruise the first lap so I can
You don't have to, but obviously we're still learning the circuit as well. I'm not going to say to you, yeah, don't go over this speed, but obviously we're still learning the circuit things as well.
Track section 2, Ollie receiving.
I think that rear window on yours might just be open a little bit. Yep, go ahead.
Just let you know you have a GT hour as well.
Yeah, no worries, thank you. Sit on the brakes. Nicely done. it. So start picking on the power a little bit. Good. Bit more. Good. Braking. Talking about a little bit, just as you're still kind of getting used to it as well. We're going to pick up something called trail braking. Have you heard of that before? Yeah. So, what you explain to me then what trail braking is? What would you do if we were going to start trail braking?
Braking whilst going into the corner to get the weight over the front.
Yeah.
Gives you more grip going around the corners.
Yeah, exactly. So we want that nose to dive down, but the important thing is when we release the brake. We want to release it when we're done turning effectively. So we would stay on the brake until now, that point at where we've got the most amount of steering lock on. Once we unwind in the lock, we don't need to on the brakes anymore. So let's take it this one for example. So we're braking, trailing it in, off the brakes, now on the power. So we're actually on the brakes for a little bit longer than you think, yeah? So squeeze the power, good, full power. Brake, good, a little bit too hard. Turn the car in, off, and back on the power. So we just kicked in a little bit of ABS that time. Good, so back on the power. Braking. Very good.
God, so sensitive.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Touch the throttle a tiny bit.
It is. Especially when you drive it on track as well like this, it kind of, it learns what your driving style is trying to be like. So we'll try and sharpen everything up a little bit as well. Good, so try a bit more power. Good, keep feeding. Brake. So just there, it's just a little bit aggressive on the brake. We want to get some weight over the nose. We don't need to brake quite so hard initially. So a bit of power, full throttle. Brake. That's perfect. Hold that pressure. Off, back on the power. That's so much better, isn't it? Yeah, feel the difference that's making? Power, bit more, brake. Good, very nice. How's it feeling now? Yeah? Good. We're starting to tie everything together, which is great. So the trail braking is kind of smoothing out, which is fantastic. But obviously, it's just as important how we hit the brakes as how we release them. So that's really good as well. So yeah, we've got rid of that kind of really sharp and having to jump off immediately braking. Smoothing all that out. Yeah, it's just a tarmac there. This new tarmac, we basically use about a set of tyres every day. So this old tarmac, or just not as new tarmac, is quite heavily rubbered in. So even when you can't see skid marks on it, there's quite like a layer of rubber across the whole thing. That bit doesn't have that, which is why it squeals when nothing else does. absolutely. You want to use them straight away?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's into M now. Have you used them before?
I have.
Okay. So obviously, same as every other car, left hand down, right hand up. Just try not to change gear too much, because generally when people first start using paddles, they change gear a lot. So stretch the revs up, full throttle, and just down, and down. Nice. That feel on that track?
Good.
Yeah? Good. There's all those little fine tuning bits, trying not to kind of over exaggerate the steering and things. Let's take a right here. It's cool. We're going to start making our way back now. Fantastic. We'll go back into auto as well. How did that feel for you?
Yeah, great.
You enjoyed that, yeah?
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad. That's really nice, but drifting was good, track driving was really good. Like I said, on the track, it's just those
Elliot to Josh Hill.
those little bits and pieces we worked on at the end which definitely made the improvement. Yeah? Cool. Happy with that? Nice, no worries at all. We're going to knock this back to comfort. Stop, start us off. Let's go straight over the roundabout for me. So then it's going to be a right, we'll find somewhere to park up. Yeah, it's all clear.
Just need to save up for now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. They're such great cars.
Yeah.
They are really, really nice. Good, so let's go. If we can, let's just reverse into there.
Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you. We'll put that stalk up to the top, that's it. Because you've got all the cameras and the mirrors, and move up to anything you need to.
I'm outside the lounge, Ricky.
If we just stop it there, we'll go back to drive and kind of nose up there and come back down. Great. So we go this way a bit more. Straight. Stop it there. Very nice, well done. Good, we'll pop that car into park, so there's the button on the end.
Yeah.
That's it. Fantastic, we're all done.
Perfect.
Good. How's that, okay?
Yeah, great fun.
Good, glad you enjoyed it. It's cool. So, what we need to do, and turn that camera off as well, is knock the engine off with